I'm going to be showing you how you can get your very first client in 27 days or less as a complete beginner. Yes, this means if you have absolutely no previous experience or not a lot of money to invest, I'm going to be showing you the most effective strategies out there that you can utilize in order to get high ticket clients today itself. Now, please note, this is the exact strategy that I have used myself at the age of 18 to go about landing clients internationally while sitting in India for my agency business. And this is the exact strategy that we also use till date at our company Uability, which is an education consultancy firm, in order to grow this business to upwards of 1 crore per month. And you can literally go about copying and pasting the exact template that I'm using in order to generate these clients by following this video till the end. So this is the exact email that we use at our company Uability in order to close a high ticket deal, where you can literally see one of my team members, Sunny, reaching out to this business owner. Now, what exactly was said or mentioned in this email, that's exactly what I'll be revealing in this video. So you need to continue watching this video till the end in order to understand, because I'll be giving you all these templates away in copy paste format. Now, after this email was sent, this person replies back to us actually pretty promptly, where he says, "Hi Sunny, the email was impressive and it didn't look like a cold email with so much information about the company. Thanks, please tell me more." And we said that thank you so much for reverting back, and I'm glad that you liked my initial email. And to explain you a brief, at Uability, we help agency owners grow fast and reach their desired clients that pay higher than the industry standards. Are you available sometime this week? I'd love to get on a quick call with you, get some insights, and share the most appropriate strategy that can benefit your business. And this person said, "Okay, let's connect today." And he also gave his phone number. So after that, we did something called as a discovery call, which I'll be talking more about later on. And then we basically booked this person using our Calendly system that we have built in. And again, I'll be showing you how you can also get a scheduler just like this, so that people can book a call with you whenever you are trying to approach them, so that it looks much more professional. And as you can see, we then basically, after conducting the call, or actually before conducting the call, what we did is we send this person an email which says that, "Hey, please check out our case studies, please check out our video, please try to learn more about our company, so that by the time you get on this call with us, you will have enough information." And trust me, the reason why we do this is to warm the prospects up, because think about this, they are complete strangers to us. They do not know anything about our company, and if we just get them on a call and try to pitch them, it would be very difficult. So my recommendation would be to send some piece of content to these individuals. And by the way, don't worry, I'll be telling you what piece of content to send in this video itself. And you can do this, and this will nurture the prospects before they get on a call, and your chances of closing them would increase. And then we got on a Zoom call where we used our proven sales script, which also I'll be revealing within this video series. And as you can see, this is the exact client who ended up paying us the high ticket price using our payment gateway, Razorpay, which we got right after we were done with the sales call. And this deal was closed literally by 6th November 2020. And if you really just go back to our initial email, we started this whole approach on 27th October 2020. Now, a lot of people like to talk about their own success, but I would like to tell you that a lot of people have utilized this method in order to generate clients. In fact, till date, we have 1,200 people in India who have applied this method to go and generate high ticket clients. Some of these people include like Rajul, the founder of RRR Media, who generated upwards of 13 lakhs in a single day. We also have Chetan, who went from making under a lakh a month to scaling his business to upwards of 7 lakhs per month. We also have people like Yash, who literally started working with us when he was doing around 20-30,000 rupees per month, and now he has scaled his business to upwards of 3 to 4 lakhs every single month. And you can find videos of all these people on our YouTube channel, where we literally sat down with them and talked to them about how they went about using these methods for themselves. But before you go check those videos out, let me show you the practical steps that you can utilize in order to achieve results like this. Now, at this point, you might be wondering, Rohan, what's this super secret method that you will be teaching us, which will allow me to get clients within such a short period of time? Well, this method is called as cold approach. Now, cold approach basically means that you go about collecting data or email addresses of individuals on the internet. Now, people like you and I who use websites like social media, Google or whatnot, we tend to leave our information online. And what happens is these emails are easily available that you can go about fetching using the different kind of tools that I'll be showing you in this video. But hey, email marketing is dead. I don't think this works. Everyone is saying that we should move on to some other platform. I know you might be thinking that right now, and you also believe that email marketing is dead. Well, the fact is, not too long ago, even I used to think the same way until I started using this method and realized that people actually do check their emails. Now think about this. Let's say you went to Facebook or Instagram and you forgot your password. Where will you go? Where will that password reset instructions be sent? A lot of times email is still being used. It's just that people are not realizing the importance and people do not know how to go about using it the right way. Unfortunately for them, but fortunately for you, you have this video which will allow you to use emails correctly, go do cold approach, scrape email addresses from the internet, right? And then what we will be doing is we'll be sending emails to these individuals, and we will be making sure that our message is super personalized, super appealing and super differentiated using the template which I'll be sharing with you. It's very secretive, right? And using that template, what will happen is these people will respond back to you. And the way we structure our email, what's going to happen is these people will ask you for a date and time where you will be able to schedule a call with them one-on-one, get them on a platform like Zoom, Skype or a phone call. And on that phone call, we'll be giving you a script that you will be using in order to close high ticket deals. In fact, this is the same method that allowed me to close deals of what you see in your screen, like $1,500, $3,000, $4,000, and today's time I even close deals upwards of $10,000, which you can also utilize using the method that I'll be teaching you today. So enough of theoretical BS, let's get into the practical steps. Now the first thing or the first step that you need to take in order to land your first high ticket client in 27 days or less is that you need to have your basics sorted. This means that you must have an idea regarding what you will be selling to these people. And usually what I recommend to most individuals is to go and sell some sort of advice or service. It could literally be fitness coaching, it could be relationship advice, it could be digital marketing services, or anything that you are good at that you can go and offer to these individuals. So you must be clear regarding what you're selling and you must have your basics sorted. Now, if you have your basics not sorted yet, or you don't have idea regarding what you'll be selling to these individuals, maybe you are confused, maybe you are trying out different kind of online businesses out there like affiliate marketing, drop shipping and all that stuff, but things are just not working out according to the plan, you're confused, you're stressed and you are overwhelmed, then what I would highly recommend doing is go check out this video that I recently recorded where I walk you through my own story of how I went about sorting out my basics and figuring out the perfect business model that you can utilize to go get these high ticket clients. And I also show you in that video some practical steps that will allow you to get clear on your basics. This means that you will have idea regarding what kind of skill to sell, who to target, what kind of niche you should select, what kind of thing you should offer, and how do you go about packaging it into a way so that you can command premium prices or high ticket prices, just like how I am doing for my. So that's step number one. Go get your basics sorted if you haven't already, and you can do that by watching my free YouTube video which I recently recorded that explains you exactly how. Now step number two is once you have things or the basic stuff or your foundation sorted, you have to go and get a domain name. Now what exactly is a domain name? So for example, you're watching this video on youtube.com, or chances are you're watching this video on uability.in. So when you look at this uability.in or youtube.com, what are these? These are domain names that you can go and buy and host your website on. Now, a lot of people tend to complicate this and they think, oh my god, I have to come up with some sort of creative name, otherwise people will not buy from me. And this is a big mistake that I would recommend that you do not make, because I did it myself. Now, back in the days when I was starting out my business, I used to Google a lot. I would Google different kind of domain names out there, think about some creative words, try to mash them together, thinking that, hey, if my domain name is really unique, clients will just automatically come to me. That's a big mistake. So one day I got so frustrated, I was just sitting and I was like, I just want to get started. I just want to make money today. So what do I do? So I went to a website called as namecheap.com. That is one of the domain registrars that we use till date. You can go check out the link in the description below. Now on namecheap.com, I simply entered my own name, which is Rohan Dhawan, and I just wrote .com in front of it. And guess what? It was available. And that's how I started my journey in the online marketing space. So I purchased rohandhawan.com, and I would recommend that if you can't think about some sort of name for your domain, just go and buy your own domain name, which is your own name, and just try to, get started with that. Now you can always change these things in the future because branding keeps upgrading, and you can worry about this once you have the basics sorted out and once you have some income flowing in consistently. Do not worry about it at the start. So if in case .com is not available for your name, just go with something else like .in, .co.in or .co, or whatever you can utilize right now in order to get started. Again, remember, the goal is to go to the market ASAP rather than overthinking and just complicating things. Get out of the kitchen fast, okay? So that's the second step that I would recommend. First step is go get your basics sorted by watching the video that I recommended to you. And number two would be to go and get a domain name for yourself. The third step that I would recommend is once you have a domain name, what you need to do is you need to get a website, right? Because just having a domain name is not enough. You have to have a website, otherwise people will think you are, living in 1990s, because having a website in today's time is equivalent to having a business card. If you don't have a website, people will start questioning, is this business even legit? Do they even work? Are they even recognized somewhere, right? So people need to see your websites, people need to see some pages on your website just so that you appear real, and you should be real, right? So my recommendation to you would be to go use a platform like WordPress, or you can utilize Wix.com in order to set up your website. Now, why these platforms specifically? Because they are easy to use, they do not cost a lot of money, and you can basically get started today itself, okay? In fact, one of my initial websites that you see in front of your screen was literally done in the most basic format. Now, a lot of people also complicate their website. They would hire some sort of designer, pay them a lot of money, and think that they would create some sort of fancy website which would allow these people to get a lot of clients. But again, that is a misconception, because when you're getting started, you just need to get started rather than thinking about what color should be my footer be at, or should I put this font or that font. It doesn't matter, nobody cares. You're just starting out, probably you'll get less than 10 people to visit your website, so don't worry. In fact, I use the same rule for myself. If you see the screenshot on your screen, that is the first website that I got started with. That is exclusively what I launched, and people checked out this website and they did not hesitate to pay me the premium prices which I talked about. This is the exact same strategy or the exact same website that I used when I signed my first high ticket client with Vijay, who paid me around about $1,500. If you don't know about that story, go check out my initial video. I've already talked about that before. So now you have your basics sorted, you have a domain name, and you have a website which is not that fancy. But on your website, my recommendation would be to have some basic pages like a home page, an about page, and maybe a contact page. And I think that's pretty much it. Maybe you can have terms and services, or things like that. You can go to Google right now and just type terms and services templates or something like that, just so that you can kickstart your journey today itself. So far we have covered that you got your basics sorted out, you got a domain name for yourself, and you got a website, which is not super fancy, just something basic just to kickstart things. The next thing that I would recommend that you do is you go get a professional email. Now, a lot of people, when they're doing cold email or cold approach, sometimes I get emails on my inbox and they would say, hey, I will show you how to, get XYZ result. And we are a company with this much backing and whatnot. But when you check their email, it would say dash@gmail.com, like raj@gmail.com. And I'd be like, man, if you don't have money or a professional email, then your image would appear very, very, not that effective, right? You'll be like, wait, this person can't afford a professional email. Why should I reply back? So it matters a little bit, at least, on that side. Otherwise, it would look like, you are basically a spammer. So my recommendation would be that you go get a professional email, something like how we do. So for me, it would be rohand@uability.in. Okay. You can also go get an email like that for yourself. Back in the days, I used to have something like hello@rohanthavan.com. I would recommend that you also get something like this. Now, where do you go get a professional email? You can literally get it from anywhere. There are so many websites selling professional emails. Usually Namecheap would sell you an email that you can utilize. But my recommendation, or something that I personally did, is I went on to use Google Workspace, which provides you an email or a professional email linked to your domain. Now, why exactly did I pick Google Workspace over all these other options available to me? Well, the reason I use Google Workspace is because in addition to just an email, they provide other features like Google Meets, which is a good replacement for Zoom. They also provide other things like Google Docs, a lot of Google Drive storage. This means I could store a lot of my data online, and all these things are very, very handy when I'm trying to do projects and work with my clients. Now, if you're interested in getting Google Workspace, you can get started with the most basic plan available right now. And you can do that by clicking the link in the description, and it will redirect you to this page where you can go check out Google Workspace. Now, on Google Workspace, what's going to happen is you'll be able to register an official email like hello@rohanthavan.com. And so far, what we have done is we have given you this professional look where you have an amazing email, you have a basic website set up where you have online presence, and you have a domain name for yourself. Now, once you have these basic things sorted out, the next recommendation to you would be to go create a 30 to 35 minute video which gives a quick background about who you are, what exactly do you do, the kind of clients that you work with. And again, if you haven't worked with any kind of clients, that's completely fine. Just talk about your own story, talk about the results that you got for yourself. So for example, when I started out, I talked about how I built this website Buzzopedia and how that didn't work out and what they should do instead in order to get started. And I talked about my failures with the e-commerce stores that I was running and the better strategies that they can utilize in order to get more results. So I basically use my own experience that I conveyed to other people. Now, if you're a personal trainer, right, if you've never worked with any kind of clients before, but you yourself are in good physique, talk about your own journey, how you were once not in good physique and now you are able to achieve this awesome Hulk-like physique. And this is what people want to know, your results. And if you have even your client results, that'll be just a bonus. Okay, so go create a video like this for yourself. Now, if you do not know what exactly you need to add to this video, I also have another video on my YouTube channel where I'm literally breaking down the exact presentation that I'm using till date, which made us around about $1 million in sale. Because the reason why we add this video to your website is so that when somebody goes and visits your website, right, since we created such a basic website, we need a mechanism that will allow people to understand more about what is this company, what are they going to do for me, and why exactly should I book a call with them. So it nurtures prospects or warms prospects who are cold, people who have never heard about you, so that now they're educated and they want to work with you and they become your raving fans. Isn't that awesome? Well, I would recommend creating a video like such and putting it up on your website. You can do that, on any kind of page that you have on your website. Yeah, so you can host this video on YouTube, or website that I prefer personally would be Wistia.com. It just makes your video look professional, and honestly, it just like, I don't know, it's just cool, right? Cool. So I would recommend that you go put this video on your website, and just below the video have some sort of button which says apply now, so that people click on this button, and as soon as they click on a button, they get redirected to another page, which would be a calendar, which is the next step that you need to set up. So in the next step, what I would recommend doing is go to a website called as Calendly.com. It must be appearing on your screen. Now on Calendly.com, what you can do is you can register for an account for absolutely free. Now what is Calendly? Well, it's a basic calendar system which allows people to understand when is Rohan available to talk to, or when are you available to talk to, so that I can book a call with them and then eventually talk to these individuals. And it all seems very, very professional, as if you are some multinational company and you have like limited slots available. And trust me, even though it sounds pretty simple, it works till date, and go try it for yourself right now. So what will happen is people will watch your video, and below that there will be a button called as apply now. They will click on the button and they will be redirected to this page, which would have a Calendly form or Calendly page, where people will be able to select the dates they want to talk to you. Let's say that they select Tuesday or tomorrow, right? And they click on that, then a bunch of timings will be available. People can select what kind of time they want to select when they want to talk to you, and the times will be converted according to the time zone of the client you are sending it to. So imagine how handy it is and how easy it would be for you to manage these consultations that you will be getting, where you will be closing these high ticket deals on Zoom, Google Meet, or anywhere online, right? So go set up your Calendly account, go create some options for people to actually, select times to talk to you and have dates ready for you. It's very, very important that you do so. And once you have done that, the next step would be to go and start sending these emails to these individuals. So far what we have done is we have gotten our basics sorted out. We have purchased a domain name. We have a website going on for us. And what we have also done is we have purchased a professional email so that we can go send emails to these individuals. We have added a video to our website, which basically explains people who we are, what do we do, and all that stuff. And then we have added a button below that video which redirects people to Calendly, so that they can pick a time to talk to us, and just it'll make us look professional like James Bond, right? So, and then the next thing that we need to do is we need to literally go and start sending emails. That's pretty much it. So now the next step that we have to do is, after we have integrated Calendly, is we need to start scraping data from the internet. This means that we need to go to the internet and actually find database of our potential clients who will pay us this money. For example, if you want to email Jeff Bezos, the CEO or ex-CEO of Amazon, how would you find their email? Well, let me just show you my screen and show you how you can go about scraping data of literally anyone out there on the internet. So this is a demonstration where one of my teammates is actually showing you how to get emails from LinkedIn. So just head over to linkedin.com and click on the search tool that is available on the top left, as you can see. Then just simply search for the prospect you're looking for. And what I would like to do is just check on the location box. You can also search according to title. Let's say I want to search fitness trainers, just like how I did in this particular example. Now I came across this profile, and over here what I can do is just simply use a plugin which I will be telling you about, and this plugin is called as SalesQL. Now you can go to Google and easily find the same, and click on the first link that appears in order to download this extension. Now please note this is a Chrome extension that would appear on the top right, so you have to make sure that it's enabled. Click on the extension and you will be able to get all the details of the person as soon as you load on their profile. And now there's another tool available to us which is called as Lead Leaper, and just quite similar to SalesQL. You can find it on Google, install the extension, and just by clicking on the extension itself, it will allow you to find the right emails and also maintain a list of your leads. Now, once you have collected the leads, I like to store them on Google Sheets, or you can do them in Excel. Now, this template is available for you to download, which consists of various kind of columns like company name, website, niche, city, country, first name, last name, email, accomplishment, and many other things. Now, the reason why we collect so much data, like accomplishment, for example, for this case would be becoming Brisbane Young Entrepreneur of the Year. You can actually need to go out on the internet and find some personalized information about the leads you're contacting. Why? Because we will include this information within our emails so that our emails are personalized, so that they get the maximum amount of clicks and maximum amount of engagement. So what will happen is the tool that I'll be showing you later will accumulate all these accomplishments and individualize and personalize for each and every person that we'll be contacting. Now, portfolio item is another thing I like to collect. For example, if this particular client maybe worked with another client or got featured on a newsletter, I would like to have the link of that over here as well. For example, Business News Australia, this person was recognized at, so that when I contact this person, I could say, hey, congratulations, I found you on Business News Australia, you were recognized as Brisbane Young Entrepreneur of the Year. And I also like to find their social media accounts, just in case they don't reply to my emails, I can contact them on social media. Most people just tend to leave with just emails, but the goal is you approach these prospects on every channel that you get. And you also get to track the emails that you send, and once you send them, just write X, and once you send the follow-up, write X next to it, and follow-up 2 and 3 and 4, etc. And once you get a reply from them, you can mark that as well. And this will allow you to basically track all the activities that you're doing so that your approach is successful. Now, you can use the methods that I've taught you to find emails of business owners. In fact, you can also use that to find emails of any individual on the internet. I just showed you various kind of tools which will allow you to achieve that same. Now, once you have the email addresses of all these individuals sorted out in a Google Sheet file, right? I would also recommend that you create a separate column over there, which is for their accomplishments. Now, why exactly do we add the column of accomplishments and various kind of other fields that you have seen? Well, the reason we do that is because think about this, right? Imagine, just go to your inbox right now. Just go open your email inbox right now and see the number of spam emails that you get every single day. Then also ask yourself a question: what are the emails that you actually open? Well, emails that you usually get from your friends, family member, and something that is urgent, right? Those are the emails that we usually open. Now, why specifically do we open those emails? Because those emails are personalized. Now, if you're just going to send a cold email which is not personalized, nobody is going to care and nobody is going to pay attention and people are not going to reply to you. That's why we collect all these fields so that we can add them in our email template, and it will allow us to reach out to these people and they will tend to reply to us at the maximum rate possible. Now, imagine this, right? Let's say you recently got a job at some company and you get an email from me saying that, hey, congratulations on getting that job. And then I ask you for what I want. Won't it make you want to reply to that email more rather than just me saying to you, hey, I sell this, come buy from me, right? Which email would you reply to? I'm sure if you're smart, you will reply to the personalized email. So that is the reason why we collect all this personalized information about these people, in addition to their basic details like first name, last name, and email. So very important that you do that. Now, once we have scraped out the email addresses of these individuals from the internet, the next thing that we need to do is we need to make sure that these email addresses are legit. They are verified. They are not some sort of fake emails, which will basically, reduce our sender score. And what exactly is sender score? Just to give you a basic definition of it, it basically, these email platforms like Gmail, Yahoo, and all that, they kind of have like, a reputation for your email addresses being stored in their internal database. It's kind of like having CIBIL score, right? So the more junk emails you send, the more spammy emails you send, and the more emails that you send which get bounced or which get sent to an email address that does not exist or an email address which is fake, then what will happen is your sender score will keep on going down. And as a result, just like how your CIBIL score goes down, your emails will also start going in spam folder. So that is why we are focusing so much on making our emails personalized. And now what we need to do is we need to make sure that and verify that the emails that we have collected are verified as well, and they do not get delivered to, let's say, a fake address. Okay, and we get the maximum replies possible. Now in order to do this, we use different kind of tools where I'll walk you through on my computer and show you the different kind of tools that you can utilize in order to verify these email addresses. Now, a free tool that I would recommend using would be verifyemailaddress.org. You can just go to this website, type any email that you want, and it would tell you if it is a legit email or not. And as you can see over here, it seems to be valid. Now, another thing that you can do is, let's say I just go and type a fake email over here, you would see that it would tell you that it's not valid. So you only send emails to the ones that are valid. Another tool that you can try out is Neverbounce. The only thing is that this is not free, but you do get 1000 credits to start off with, so try doing that. The benefit of this is you can download your sheet in Excel or CSV format and upload it to this website, and it will be able to verify them in bulk format rather than doing each one of them one by one. Now, so far, we have actually taken out quality data from the internet, we have scraped them effectively, we have gotten personalized information, and we have also made sure that these email addresses are actually legit rather than some sort of fake emails. Now, the next thing that we need to do, guess what? We actually need to send these emails to these individuals, because that's the only step left, right? So in order to send these emails, you have two methods. You can go about sending these emails manually to these people, which honestly you can do, but it's going to take a lot of time. But I want to get started ASAP, and I'm sure you want to get started as soon as possible. So the best method that I use is using a tool called as YAM. Now YAM stands for Yet Another Mail Merge, which is a tool which you can utilize. It's free to get started with if you want to send 50 emails per day, which is good enough for a lot of people watching this video. Now what we are going to do is we are going to use this tool in order to send bulk personalized emails to these people, and I'm also going to show you now the exact template that I use in order to go and land my initial client. So let's get into my computer and I'm going to show you, but I'm not going to get into my computer. So let me share my computer screen and show you exactly how you can go and send bulk emails using this tool, which are personalized and quality, which are proven to get a response from these individuals. So if I click over here, I already have this installed, but you can just click on Get Add-ons, and we can type in the search apps, Yet Another Mail Merge, and bam, you will get this. Click on the install button. Now I've already installed this, and make sure you're logged in using your company Google Workspace account, and just, go ahead with that. So what we do is we go to our Gmail account and we click on Compose. You see on the top right, we just click on that and we will be able to type any kind of message. Now usually what would happen is if we use the Compose feature, right, we will have to send an email manually. Like we'll have to type in, let's say, pratham@uability.in, right? Like we'll have to do that manually, and that process is pretty slow. Like I'm sure you could tag like bunch of people, but then they will all know that you're sending them a bulk email. So what's like a way that we can send each individual that we are talking to a personalized email that they think that only they are getting? It's not a group bulk spam email, it's like only for them exclusively, but we can do it faster and quicker using this software that we installed, Yet Another Mail Merge. Pretty sick, right? But for that, in order to send these people emails, right, we need to have a template, right? We need to have something ready so that we could tell MailMerge that, okay, this is the email that I want you to send, and to all these people I want you to send this kind of email. So to help you out with this process, I have given you a list of proven fill-in-the-blank templates that you can send to your prospects immediately. And you would see, bam, there's a list of different templates that have been given to you. You don't have to do anything at all. Now what you would notice is that there's some like tags over here, right? Like as you can see, accomplishment, company name,
right? All these things, right? These are tags. And you might be confused regarding what the hell is this, Rohan, right? Because if we just copy this first template, it won't make sense right now because it has all these tags. What are these? Now, what you would notice is that inside of a sheet, now this is the fun part, right? Why did I make you collect all this information? Why did I make you write all this over here? Because now, when we are sending bulk emails, we could actually pull this data from the spreadsheet into our email, and this will be done with the help of these tags. So for example, let's say if I copy this template and just paste it over here, bam, what's going to happen is, right, when we send a mass email to all these people, yet another mail merge would automatically pull this information. As you can see, the first name from here, as you can see. So Carl would get Carl's email, this guy would get his, Peter would get his, everybody would get their first name pulled in directly from here. And then company name, right, this would be pulled in from here. And then channel, right, would be pulled in from here. And then this way, your entire template would make sense rather than just appearing with a bunch of tags. So we have formulated things in such a manner so that with the help of these tags, we can actually just send out personalized bulk emails, which is very, very powerful. Okay. So as you can see inside of the swipe file, I've given you subject lines, I've given you email templates, and then I have given you two variations of this template that you can use. And then there are other things as well, which you don't have to worry about right now. We'll cover that in the later on lectures, okay? So let's talk about the subject line. So subject line is what's going to go over here. What's the subject, right? The first thing that somebody sees when they open or actually before opening their email, they see the subject line, right? So that's what determines if they would open or not. So it's very important to make sure that we can get somebody to open up their email. And the best way to do that is by using pretty exciting subject lines, right? Some examples you can see over here. Now, one we could try is congrats on accomplishment. So if I just type that, what's going to happen is congrats on. So inside of the accomplishment tag, right? So for example, if we have congrats on accomplishment, right? So we could structure our accomplishment based on something that each individual person achieved. So let's say, we have Carl Brown, right? So over here we have congrats Carl Brown, congrats on getting 100K clients last year. Or congrats this guy on winning Sydney's Entrepreneur of the Year. Congrats Peter for signing Apple as your new client, right? So these are not random, but like well researched, right? So when you do your research using the methods that I've taught you earlier, right? When you did your research and found some information about these individuals, that's when you were adding to the accomplishment column something personalized about them that only they have accomplished. Not everybody has accomplished, but they have accomplished. And any kind of small accomplishment, and it's very easy to spot for them, especially if they have an online presence. So it's very easy to spot that. And what you can do is you can just write that, and this is going to increase the open rate because now they'll be like, oh wow, this person actually knows about this accomplishment of mine. And they are not just sending a cold mass email. It's personalized to me. And then it would go hey, first name, right? It would just pull in the first name from here. I recently came across your company. So it would be, let's say company 1 from here, company name. On channel, so the channel could be, let's say you found this information on Business News Australia. Chances are you found this information on LinkedIn. Chances are you found it on Facebook. The chances are that you found this on some sort of blog, right? Or some sort of news channel or anywhere, right? Wherever you found this information about them, like this one, and where you found their email, just write that channel down. Okay, I was really impressed with what you're doing. So congrats on accomplishment. So the accomplishment being this. Congrats on, and what's going to happen? This is going to be automatically replaced. Congrats on getting 100K clients last year. We notice that now this dash that you see over here, this won't be replaced by these tags because this is something you have to fill on your own. And this will be done by you referring to your marketing message. Right? So it's not marketing message, your problem statement, right? For example, if it's a dentist, we noticed that you were relying on Yelp to get clients for your business and were competing with 17,000 other businesses for the same. right? Or I noticed that you were part of XYZ fitness group and were looking for tips to lose weight, right? Or I noticed that you were part of XYZ relationship group on LinkedIn and were looking for help regarding the same, right? So whatever problem that you see that, okay, I noticed that this is your problem, right? So write down what exactly is their problem, right? What problem did you diagnose, right? Or it could be, I noticed that your website, abc.com, loads at, takes 3 minutes to load, and the average time somebody waits for a website to load is 3 seconds, for example. Because of this, you're losing out on 20 to 40, sales per hour, for example, right? So obviously you can calculate this, or whatever problem statement that you have, right? This is something you got in week 1. That's why all elements of week 1 get used everywhere. That's why it's important that you complete that week. And I'm the founder of a consultancy company that helps niche would be, let's say, dentist or whatever it is in your case, right? Achieve/do dash, right? Insert their possibilities without their pain. So this is basically your marketing message. Let's say I help dentists get more implant patients without relying on Yelp using FB ads, for example. Or you could do something like get in shape in 30 days or less, or I help dentists go from 0 to 6 figures using dash, right? Whatever your marketing message is, I'm not going to go over this. We have already covered this. There's a full detailed video on this, and I give you like real-time examples. So check that out. To date, we have worked with, actually, you know what? I'm just going to get rid of this. I'm just going to copy the template again because I think I kind of messed it up, right? So insert the possibilities. To date, we have worked with Dash and helped them to get Dash, right? So to date, we have worked with 50 plus clients and helped them lose 1400 kilograms together in total, right? So if you had like 50 clients and they lost 1400 kgs, like obviously not like just one person losing 1400 kgs, but together. Or we have 3 clients doing 7 figures a year, right? Or something like that. Now, if you don't have any clients or you haven't worked with anybody, right, you could talk about your own story. So you could say something like, you know what, let me just make this larger for you. What you can do is you can talk about, I have implemented this strategy for myself and it helped me gain, let's say, 6 figures in the last 18 months, right? Or I have implemented this strategy for myself and lost around 30 kgs in the last 2 years. Or I have implemented the strategy for myself, for my wife and myself, and we have been happily married for over 30 plus years, right? If you're in the relationship niche, okay? So if you don't have testimonials, if you don't have client results, use your own story, okay? Pretty simple. And then first name, you're sitting on a gold mine and we want to help you by offering 100% free breakthrough session where we explore further problems in your life/business and come up with an action plan that you can begin implementing immediately, right? If you're not in the wealth niche, right, you could change this to first name, I can totally relate to the pain you might be going through because, as mentioned earlier, I have walked your shoes, right? Therefore, to help you out, I want to offer a 100% free breakthrough session where we explore further problems in your life/business and come up with an action plan so that you can begin implementing the same, right? So you can use this, or, the gold mine thing really works well if you are in the wealth niche. And I would love to explain more about this on Skype/Zoom or whatever. Please let me know when you're available and I would love to discuss more. Looking forward to hearing from you and answering your queries. Thank you. And then we have our website, free training, and book a call. So over here, you have to change this URL and do it to your website dot whatever your website is called. And we have already set that up. And then free training would be yourwebsite.com/training. We already said this is your low fidelity MVP funnel, right? And then book a call is basically in case you have yourwebsite.com/apply, right? We have the apply page after the whole thing set up. So we have that. And then we can say something like, PS, your website is really cool, if they have a website, or we could say something like, your LinkedIn profile is really cool, or your Facebook profile is really cool, something like that, right? So that's what we can do. That's one template. So make sure that you replace each variable and blank with how you have specified in your spreadsheet/hypothesis worksheets. Okay, so the blanks are basically your hypothesis worksheets from week 1, right? And these tags are basically for YAM, right? The things that you have over here. So I hope that's pretty clear. And then, you have this proven variation too, which is, now I give you one more variation, like it's pretty similar to this one, but the thing is that this variation doesn't have accomplishment, right? So I get it, for a lot of people, it might be like difficult to find accomplishment of everybody, right? And it could be exhausting and it could take time. So what you can do is you can just get this, right click and delete column, and you can get rid of this if you want, and you can try out proven variation number 2 and just use this. So if I just put this in, this is how it would look like. Let me just make it huge so that you can read. Hey, first name, I recently came across your company name. Company name is over here, simple. You can get this on channel, wherever you found them. Maybe you found them on LinkedIn or whatever, right? And then was really impressed with what you're doing. I am your profession and help -- your marketing message. We do this by however you do this, right? And to date, we have worked with this client and we have gotten them this results. Any kind of results that you have, again, if you don't have any results, just talk about your own story. So to date, in fact, I myself lost 30 kgs in the last 18 months, for example. Or in fact, I have used the same strategies to be happily married to my wife for the last 30 years, something like that, right? So whatever it is, it's obviously going to be different for you. Use this if you don't have any client results, right? And if you're just starting out. So I'd love to learn what you're doing right now to find clients. I'm sure we can help you double or triple the amount of clients you're getting, just like how we help Dash in case you have another client success story. Otherwise, just remove this. Okay. If you want to learn more, just get in touch with me directly by simply replying to this email. I'm also more than happy to answer your any questions that you might have regarding your topic of expertise. So if you are Facebook ads, just type that, fitness or nutrition, relationship, whatever your topic of expertise are. Thanks and have an awesome day. Your name, website. So again, click on change, add your own website.com, right? Free training, your training page, book a call is your apply page, right? Like rohanlavan.com/apply. So change that accordingly. So that's pretty straightforward, and you can use this to basically send out emails to your clients. So now what we have to do is, right, how do we make sure that this works? So let me do one thing. I'm not gonna send to these like random emails. Let's just use a test email that I have over here and see what happens if we try to use this template over here. Okay, let's try to fix this. Let's just use dentists as an example, right? I help dentists go from 6 to 7 figures in 12 months by helping them get consistent implant patients. Actually, to date, we have worked with 84 dentists, out of which 5 are doing 8 figures and 60 are doing 7 figures, and the rest are doing high 6 figures. Now, if you don't have results like this, again, you don't have to. Just don't do it for the sake of it. Don't lie. Just talk about your own story. Otherwise, just don't add it at all. Or focus on getting results. I'd love to learn what you're doing right now to find clients. I'm sure we can help you double or triple the amount of clients you're getting. 1 second. This should be fixed problem. I noticed that was only for the wealth one, so I just adjusted this. Hope this makes sense for you, right? So there's that. I'd love to learn about what you're doing to find clients right now. And again, you could just talk about, if let's say this is some other niche, you could just say, I'd love to know what you're doing to at the gym right now. I'm sure we can help you right now and what you're lifting. I'm sure I can help you 2x your key lifts in the next 12 months, right? Or I'd love to learn how things are going for you. So if this doesn't sound too personal to you, I'd love to discuss how your relationship with your wife is going on right now and how we can help you improve the same, if only if needed, right? So something like that. And the reason why I did that with that, because this relationship it could be like, some people could be touchy. That's why, you have to form your emails and cater towards those sensitive people as well. So if you want to learn more, just get in touch with me directly by simply replying to this email. I'm also more than happy to answer any questions. And this is there. And your name should be replaced by Rohan Dhawan. And then I'm going to change this to https rohandhawan.co.in. Copy that, click on OK. Free training, change that to training. Click on OK. Book a call, change that to apply. Bam, click on OK. Or I could just say your website is really cool, your LinkedIn profile is cool, whatever. I could also try out other variations, say something like this, question about company name, right? That could also be helpful. I could also try out company name and your company name. So for example, their company name. Now replace this with, let's say, Qability, right? Or Rohan Dhawan. And then first name, quick question, right? This is another good one.
So I just wanted to point out one important thing, which is if you look over here, you would notice that there's something called as unsubscribe link that we are attaching at the bottom of our email. So what we have to do is we have to click on text size and make it small, right? And what you have to do is make sure you click on it, change, and then ensure that the URL is set to https://app.yaml.com/unsubscribe. Very critical, because otherwise your emails will be marked spam and there'll be a big problem. So don't do that. That's why we attach an unsubscribe link at the bottom of every email, and we make sure it's going to the same URL and nowhere else. That's all you have to do. This way, when you're sending emails, right? Let's say I click on start mail merge. We have already sent emails over here. Let's just do over here. I'm just showing you for demonstration purposes, but hopefully this makes you understand what I'm saying. Click on continue, and then what's the subject line question about? Yeah. So if you click on this alias filters / personalized attachments under unsubscribe link, you would say that it's enabled, right? So make sure it's enabled, and the way it will be enabled is if you paste this thing at the end. So don't ignore that. So these are the various kind of things that you can try. Now let's try sending our first merge. Click on start mail merge. You click on add-ons, yet another mail merge, start mail merge. Click on continue. And then under email templates, you just select this new one that we just added, question about company name. And then you click on send. Now the reason why this is saying 11, because I've selected all of them, right? But if you just select one, obviously it'll be sent to one, right? So just check one more thing. Emails will be sent to the people in the column of H. So it's matching H column. That's where the email is, right? Click on send. And as you can see, it says one email sent. Now don't worry, like it won't send to the blanks because obviously there were no emails. And you would notice that this new bar just appeared, which is called as the tracking report. Now we could see that, okay, who opened my email? Was it clicked? Was it responded, bounced, unconfirmed, etc. And this is what we have. And as you can see on the right side, a new column is appearing which says merge status. We have email sent, and all these others didn't have any email, so obviously it wasn't sent. Now what you would notice is, right, this is the email that I got, and it says question about company 1 and question about company 1. This is company number 1, right? So it automatically pulled that information from there. And then it says, hey Carl, because that's the first name over here. That's the first email. Now, if there was another email, it would have gone to this person. If there was another email, it would have said Peter, right? So I recently came across your company one, which got from here, on Business News Australia, which is from the channel, and was really impressed with what you're doing.
I help dentists go from 6 to 7 figures in 12 months by helping them get consistent implant patients. To date, we have worked with 84 dentists, out of which 5 are 8 figures, 60 of them are doing 7 figures, and the rest are doing high 6 figures. I'd love to learn about what you're doing to find clients right now. I'm sure we can double or triple the amount of clients you're getting. If you want to learn more, just get in touch with me directly by simply replying to this email. I'm also more than happy to answer any questions you might have about whatever topic of, this is my bad, I should have replaced with, about this should have been digital marketing, right? So I should have just said digital marketing over here. Okay. And then thanks and have an awesome day. And then here's the website. So if I click on that, click on that, click on that, my website loads up, training page loads up, and there was an error. Yes, video. Okay. This is the link that I should have attached. Change. Bam. Okay. So this is what I should have done. Apologies for that. Regardless, this is how it looks like. Now imagine this going in bulk, right? Like literally to all these people. But that isn't the only cool part. If you notice that now under merge status, it's giving me analysis, right? That this email is now open, and I literally opened this email, and then I also clicked on it. So it's saying that, the email was clicked on it as well. So it's giving me real-time stats. And then I could just when somebody replies as well, let's say I just reply to this email, thanks, right? Then contact me at this number, right? So something like that. So what's going to happen now is this will, as you can see, in real time update and say responded, which is pretty sick, right? It tells us, and then as soon as it say responded, I could just say to this person that they replied, and then I would try to push them to these other steps of the funnel by booking a discovery call with them, right? So once they reply back to my email, I could just say something like, awesome, I will call you soon. I will call you today only, or something like that, right? Basically, you call them, and this will be like a 15-minute discovery call or sales call, depending upon however it goes. So this is pretty cool, and you can use this to really generate a lot of sessions, and this will go in bulk as well to all the necessary people. Now, here's a mistake that I made, okay? I sent this in the lead sheet, okay? What I would not recommend doing is using the lead sheet to send emails. I would recommend, if you want to send emails, right, I would go to this first email. Let's say I want to send email to only, one person. Let's say I just want to send email to this guy. And then I would have just written, we give you ability at gmail.com, and then I would have sent the email. However, just remember one important thing, that send your first email, this first email that we have over here, using this, right? So that you could view individual data over here, and don't touch this lead sheet, only use this to collect data. Now that you have learned about Yamm and you have learned how to go about sending bulk emails which are personalized, the next thing we need to do is we need to respond to these emails and eventually get these people on a call. So once these people reply back to you, the simplest thing that you need to do is you need to give them your Calendly link, get them to basically book a call with you, eventually, get them on Zoom, Google Meet or Skype. Now, in case somebody doesn't manually book a call themselves using the Calendly link that you send them, that's completely fine. These people could be busy. All you need to do is just send them another email and just ask them yourself, does Thursday 3 p.m. work for you? Or when exactly are you available this week so that we can schedule a call? And then once they reply back to you, you can manually schedule the call by going to Calendly and scheduling the call on their behalf so that they get automatic reminders from Calendly and the call is confirmed and it's all professionalized. Now, once the call is scheduled, the next thing I would recommend doing is sending these people reminders. So one reminder I would send as soon as they have booked a call. The other reminder I would send on the day of the call itself. Now, a lot of people, rely on too much automation and boring reminders. Now, what they do is,
hey, your call is scheduled for this and this date. We are looking forward to talking to you, right?
It's just very, very boring. So what I prefer doing is making it interesting. So one thing that you can do is probably, let's say, craft like a selfie video where you're explaining to somebody that, hey, first name, super excited to talk to you. I have actually prepared all these notes that I will be sharing with you on this call. Looking forward to it and hope you are excited as well. So that could be like first message. The other one, you could probably include like an image where you're like sitting in front of Zoom. You could take a selfie and be like, hey, first name, really looking forward to the call today. I'm actually prepared with the Zoom and everything and hope you're prepared as well. Let's catch up. So something like that. Make sure that you stand out, you appear different, you are unique, rather than doing and copying what everyone else is doing. Because if you do something that is different from what everyone else is doing, you stand out and your conversion rates go up. So that being said, we have covered a lot of things so far. I showed you exactly how to go about fixing your basics. I showed you how to go about getting a domain name for yourself like rohanthavan.com. I showed you how to go about setting up a website, adding a video on that website that is 30 to 35 minutes long, explaining more about what you do. I showed you how you can add a button below the video which takes somebody to Calendly, which is a calendar management system, allowing people to professionally schedule a call with you. I then showed you how to go about finding email addresses on the internet. Then I also showed you how to go about getting a professional email address. I showed you how to make sure that you can verify the email addresses that you are collecting online, and you are verifying them so that you don't just end up sending emails to a bunch of random people or emails that do not exist, which obviously affects your sender score. And then I showed you how to go about sending bulk emails using yet another mail merge rather than sending one by one, how you can actually send bulk emails which are personalized and get a response. And finally, I showed you the template that you can utilize that I personally use to go and literally approach anybody and get a response from them, right? So this is what I have taught you so far, and now you have a call booked with this individual. You have sent them reminders. Now the question is, what do you say on this call? How do you go about converting this prospect from a cold lead to actually them paying you high amounts like $1,500, $3,000, $4,000, and even more like what I charge now, upwards of $10,000 for a single sale on the call itself? What's like the fundamental method behind that? How do you go about saying the same? How do you go about conducting the call? What are the things you need to say? How do you take care of your tonality, your communication, and whatnot? I'm sure you must be curious to know. Unfortunately, if I cover all that in this video, it's going to become too long. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to release a new video which is coming right after this one as part of this video series, where I'm going to show you how to sell anything to anyone. In fact, that video will be conducted by our head of sales, Pratham Sharma at Uability, who has conducted around about 4,000 calls, 4,000 sales calls in India. We have figured out what works, what doesn't work, and what you can also do in order to ensure that you can close high ticket deals. So if you are interested in getting to know more about this video, what I would recommend is make sure that you subscribe to our channel and click on the bell notification icon so that you get notified as soon as we release that video. You can check that out and start closing these deals. So I hope this video benefited you, and I showed you exactly how to go about getting a client in less than 27 days. In fact, you can do it a lot sooner if you try to, just speed up your process. So hope this video benefits you, and if you have any kind of feedback or anything that you would like to share, please don't forget to comment below, because I read all the comments myself, and I really would appreciate if you could provide me with what else you would like to learn in the future and your thoughts about this particular video. Rohan Dhawan here. Thank you so much for taking out the time, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.